Hey folks, how's it going? Sociopathic Otter here, and this ought to be a good one. Alrighty, welcome back everybody. So this is my third LP, which is pretty exciting. Granted, it isn't my third LP after having completed 2 LPs, but hey, it's my third distinct LP, and that's something. So this game is Fossil Fighters Champions. I played this game quite a while ago, actually, and I've beaten it a couple times, and every single time I'm just struck by how much charm and how much humor and how much stupidity it has. It's a great game to play when I want to laugh and when I just want to turn off my brain and have a really nice time frolicking about, seeing dinosaurs, taunting all the characters, and laughing at this dude over here with this cowboy hat. It should be a pretty great ride. And of course I've beaten it 2 times, so I'd be bored if I went through it normally. And so as a result, I'm going to Nuzlocke it, I think. Should be pretty exciting. So the standard rules apply, you know, first monster in each location, yada yada yada. And if it dies, it dies. If it's dead, and then you revive it, and then it dies again, then it's dead for good. Because apparently your machines only work the first time. I don't know. That's okay. Let's go back, actually, because I want to fiddle with the options a little bit. I didn't see the gears. I guess the gears just weren't working with my head there. Haha. Alright. We got into story mode. We're good. Alrighty. So I'm going to pick boy. And, I'm going to actually name myself Otter, but I'm going to use Leet Speak here. Because this game is just really stupid with the puns, right? Like, there are so many characters who have Leet Speak names, and it's really dumb, but it's really funny too. I can't help but laugh at that kind of thing. Like, for example, you know, in Phoenix Wright, you've got... Oh, okay. Yeah, this looks pretty nice. You know, in Phoenix Wright, you've got that one guy who talks in Leet Speak, but it's like actual speech and actual text, and you're like, dude, what the heck is that all about? Anyway, you know, Leet Speak aside, I thought that intro was pretty funny, where I named myself Otter, and I had a picture of a dinosaur, and I was a person, and I was like, nice! There's no identity crisis going on here at all. None at all. And it looks like our boy Todd has that same Leet Speak problem. That's pretty funny. Alright. So we've got these nice looking pixelated graphics, but they look really pretty next to the more realistic looking backgrounds, at least. So we've got the standard prologue and NPC diction. So that's pretty exciting. But in general, we've just got opening cutscenes going on here. One thing I like to do when I go through this opening cutscene for the first time is just look at Todd and just kind of laugh at him. Because first of all, what the heck is that hat? You know what I mean? It looks like he's wearing an upside down watermelon, but like if the watermelon were encased in sand. So I don't really know what that's all about. And I mean, I don't have the best fashion sense either. I'm wearing a Naruto like jumpsuit. Haha, nice. But Todd just does not look that great. That's an Allosaurus. Whoop-dee-doo. It's gonna eat us. Good stuff. And of course there's a sheer drop. What are they gonna do? Todd with his bucket hat, thinking, what if I throw this at the monster? Maybe it's an herbivore. I'm observing like the mixer setting on OBS right now, and as that monster was just walking towards them, the mic aux setting was like spiking, and I was like, dude, how can the monster's feet be this loud? That's crazy. Anyway, I'm kind of a legend, right? Just grab Todd and just Naruto jump my way up there. Also, this dude over here saying pards, like partner, I don't know, that I never really got that. Like, nobody says part for partner, so why is he saying pard for partner? I don't know. It's kind of sketchy. But at the same time, I guess linguistically analyzing video games won't necessarily yield you the most satisfaction possible. Oh my gosh! You're Joe! I like how it's such a generic name, but Todd's got somebody very specific in mind. Also, Joe's got a pickaxe on his back, and apparently a black eye. So, I don't know if he's just really, really clumsy, or if there's more to this guy than meets the eye. Right? I mean, it looks like something out of Skyrim. Like the hat and the weapon on the back and whatnot. Something crazy. How about it, Small Fry? And one thing I love about Todd here, he's so creative. He thinks so well on the spot. Ooh, my stomach, it hurts real bad. Yeah, Todd ate a rotten banana this morning. He's kind of a legend that way. It's kind of interesting, actually. I gave Todd, like, a lot of verbal criticism as I went through the game the first couple of times when I was younger, right? I thought, oh man, you know, Todd is such a wimp. But I can actually really sympathize with the guy. At first, he struggled with things, and he kind of didn't really step up, and the MC kind of had to bail him out. But as he goes through the game, you know, he gets better, and I admire that. I appreciate that. So I have a newfound respect for Todd. Grease my pants and call me slick. Okay, let's try to keep it PG here. That's a fine choice there, Small Fry. I love how it's like a Pokeball just like rotating around its axis of symmetry. That's pretty great. It's like, you know, the natural physics equations predicting, oh, you know, the ball's gonna have this spin, but then like the monster comes out of it and you're like, whoa, they did not teach us this in physics class. So I'm just kind of getting through text right now. Alrighty, so I've got FP. So right now, FP are basically what I need to make a move. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack with Dimetro, who's my starter, incidentally. And I'm at the best range possible. You can see with that pretty little star up there. Okay, and that's that. Alright, so yes, I can end my turn, and it's now the wild Pokemon's turn. Or, they call them vivosaurs in this game, but, you know, whatever. Basically the same idea. So yeah, I picked Dimetro out of kind of childhood nostalgia. I picked Dimetro a lot back in the day. Defended my choice against my friends' criticisms, because they were like, no, pick Toba. You know, pick all the other starters. But, I don't know, this guy's always been my favorite. I have a thing for lizards. Not in like a felony kind of way, though. Just a regular appreciation for lizards. Like, Trico is my favorite Hoenn starter. Actually, Mudkip is, but Trico is my favorite Hoenn starter when I talk to people. Mudkip is my favorite one in private. You gotta have some standards. Yeah, I ran that fossil battle like a pro. I like how the main character just heads towards Todd. They're like, hey, wait a second. And then Todd cries a little bit, and then bucks up his watermelon hat as he walks back towards the MC. There are so many hidden meanings you can kind of look at in this game. It's kind of funny. Dude, this is almost like an anime. Alrighty. Yeah, we seem pretty capable, so we can make it home. I don't know about that one. I mean, you saw Todd with his quick thinking skills, but that didn't really translate to when he almost got eaten. And we've got me, who I suppose is pretty capable, but I really need a makeover. Like, I have a horrible fashion sense. Also, I always like the word mosey. And the word adios. So, you know, Joe's got a pretty good vocabulary in my book. What was that sound effect? That's hilarious. Alright, and this is the typical friends becoming stronger and prologue thing, and the Akatsuki coming after him. Just kidding. Although there are a lot of parallels to Naruto here. It is very interesting how that works. See? 2 years later, what'd I tell you? This was not premeditated, I swear. I have no script. That sounds concerning. Todd's like, yeah, my heart is beating like a jackhammer. And I was like, dude, that sounds like you need a defibrillator or something like that. You know what I mean? If your heart is beating... How fast do jackhammers work anyway? That's gotta be way more than, like, the normal, like, resting heart rate. You know what I mean? It's probably at around 160, 170, 180-ish, right? And I'm just ballparking that. It could very well be more. I'm no medical professional, right? So if Todd's heart is beating like a jackhammer, he's got to get some assistance, basically. I don't know why I do this. It's just too many physics classes, I guess. I don't know. But the analysis just keeps on whirring, just like those helicopter blades. Anywho, we've got our first little town here. This is called Ribular Town, I think, if I was paying attention to that correctly. Yep, Ribular Town, for sure. And we've got a PSA. Make sure your screen is sized well enough before you start recording, and don't fiddle with it while you're recording. That would have been a helpful PSA for me as a player. Alright. Before I do anything, I'm gonna save. I have this like RPG compulsion to save. I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys can relate, right? Like when you play an RPG, you save once just to save your data, because you know what it's like when it gets screwed over, and you save a second time just in case that first save didn't go through. Now, if only we were that insecure about our bank accounts, right? Maybe there'd be less fraud. Anywho. Yeah, so Todd's waving over here, and he's yelling about leet speak, so that's pretty good stuff. And we're gonna go register. Also, that lady looks exactly like the one that was outside. Like, no shade, no stereotyping. But it's kind of interesting how often this game reuses models. It's like, you know, the people don't even matter. It's just the clothes. Which, I don't know if that's a good or bad message to be sending to kids. I guess E10 plus, right? So, you know, ESRB is like, whatever, the kids can handle it. They already call people ugly at that age, right? Like, it's alright. Alright, so we've got our first tutorial coming up. Pretty boring stuff, but at the very least we get to do Frankenstein-type stuff where we're like, hey, let's bring monsters to life. Nothing could go wrong here, right? It's even green. Just like Todd. I wonder if I can, you know, wring a conspiracy theory out of that. That's some pretty high-tech stuff. Dude, yeah. Todd's helmet is even more high-tech stuff, though, dude. How he manages to pull that off is beyond me. Alright, now we've got a cleaning tutorial. So, as I mentioned earlier, this game is primarily about, like, taking monsters and reviving them and doing, like, Frankenstein-type stuff, but it's not unethical, it's commercially sponsored, and everybody else does it. So the first thing you do is you ravage the fossil like a madman with the hammer and try not to ruin the skull. This is what mad lads do, right? They just go straight in with the... Actually, just kidding. That's kind of a lie. Everybody goes in with the hammer. Now the question is whether you're going to use surgical precision when you're actually cleaning up the fossil, or if you're just going to keep using the hammer. Now me, I'm playing a Nuzlocke, and I think we all know the standard caliber of my skill when it comes to video games. I'm speaking very slowly and with great deliberation because I'm trying to make sure I don't accidentally bzzzt this fossil to death. I think laser is the technical term, but, you know, he's a dinosaur. He hasn't kept up with the technicalities. And there we go, that's that. Success, 85 points. Good stuff. And now we're going to pull Frankenstein. I'm counting this as an encounter, by the way. So, you know, this thing's totally going on my team. And now Todd steps up to learn the secrets of alchemy. And he laughs. And now mysterious music plays as Todd discovers the secrets of life, right? And then this great gold text. I wonder if there's some, like, subtext or, like, some metaphor there or whatever. Once revived, you can totally destroy chemistry and recreate life. But if that life dies again, you can't do it again. Alright, for sure. I don't know why I would want to practice cleaning with Stella, but just different clothing and different color schemes. But, you know, just in case you as a casual player are feeling uncomfortable about your skills, hey, there you go. Okay, now we've got the battle tutorial coming up. Yay, so many tutorials. But I suppose the thing they're asking you to do takes literal surgical skills, so, you know, it's not necessarily too bad of a thing. Alright, Fossil Stadium's right through this door. He's so excited he could puke. That's pretty great. You know, I sometimes wonder about Todd's digestion, because, you know, he thinks of excuses that are so, like, legitimate, and comes up with them so quickly, you can't help but think, gee, is this guy, like, seriously the greatest improviser on the face of this earth? Or is he, like, a guy with, like, IBS and you just don't know, right? You have, like, a 50-50 shot either way. I just finished reading, like, a chapter of Game of Thrones just now, right? And then they talked about like Jon Snow, like, emptying chamber pots or whatever, and I was like, chamber pot, ulcerative colitis, allosauruses. The picture just comes together very nicely. Okay, anyway, this is a boring little tutorial, although that thing does look like Tessie from Earthbound, so that's a pretty cool shout out. But anyway, we can keep talking about Todd's digestive system, or we can learn how to battle. let's rotate. Get this. Well, it's not a chimera, it's a tricera, but, you know, I suppose that the base word is pretty much the same. After Hunter x Hunter, I feel like the word chimera has been burned into my brain, and the word, like, tricera? Tercero? I don't know, one of those words. It, like, sounds pretty similar, right? So, like, those words have been kind of pushed to the back. Shout out to Pito. And Poof. And Yuppie. For being questionably, goodly, questionable antagonists. Paleo Pagers, good stuff. So this is actually a cute little reference to, it's either something in Fossil Fighters or something in this game itself. I think it actually has to do with Champions, where and that's this game, Fossil Fighters Champions. So later in the game, after we get through tutorial hell, we'll see two commentators, Trip and Ty, and they're both dinosaurs, right? They're both goofy as heck, right? But basically, they just give stupid commentary about what's going on the screen, and one of them is named Trip. So I think, or maybe Ty, I don't know. But like, Ty looks like that Paleo Pager that we got. That's the ultimate conclusion of those 20 seconds of thinking out loud. Yeah, so the guy I was talking about was named Tyrano. He's the cute little guy over there with the horn on his head. And so he's one of the dinosaur announcers in this game. The other guy's called a Tripcera, which is the pun on Tricera, haha. I have to say, sometimes I rag on this game's sense of humor, but if they've got commentators Tyrano and Tripcera, you know, I'm pretty on board with this humor. The place where dreams are made. Wait, that's kind of sketchy. So, like, is it like, you know how Santa Claus gives candy to kids? Is it like they sneak into each Fossil Fighter's, like, brain and they just, like, hijack it? I can totally see that happening. This dude is scary as heck, so, like, I can totally see, you know, this man, Joe Wild West, just, like, sneaking into everybody's brain and implanting, like, a chip in there or something. I don't know. And that is not Hunter x Hunter spoilers, by the way. Now, I'm not going to do that thing where I know the story and I litter hints of foreshadowing. I'm going to be very blunt. That's foreshadowing. Take notes. Alright, for sure. So now we're going to go learn how to go dig, you know, fossils. How to go mine the earth of its resources and take already unsustainable practices to ridiculous new heights. Todd himself is an enthusiast, just like those big corporations, right? Where he's like, stripping the earth of its resources, yeah, sounds great. I'm let's playing. That probably, the entropy that comes from that is probably more than like reading a book or whatever, right? I figure that like the electricity being reduced to heat and like less useful forms of energy and stuff, you know, that's probably happening more as a result right now, like when I'm recording. I feel like Todd's gusto is a little bit concerning. Anyway, Todd forgot his pager, what a surprise, so we head to the first dig site in the game. That's pretty exciting. Treasure Lake, even though it doesn't look like there are any treasures here except nature. This man looking for fossil rocks without a fossil sonar. I love this guy. Maybe he's got a chip inside his hat or something, you know? But don't worry, this is a sustainable practice. Now, like I said, just strip the earth of its resources, yada yada yada, right? All that, like, new age stuff. Is it new age? I mean, I guess since industrialization and whatnot. I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into the sciences or the ologies or whatever. So anyway, let's keep looking. Alright, anything here? Nothing here. Yep. It's kind of exciting being a treasure hunter, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, you know, what if you don't find any treasure? That's just really disappointing. Anyway, I'm 2 for 2, because I'm going to do 2 fossil encounters just in case I get duplicates, which basically means that I'm basically done with this location. Once I talk to Todd, the eco-terrorist, shout out to Cloud Strife, he took up 6 already. Well, anyway, now that I finished talking to my man, I can go ahead and head back to the lab, clean these up. So I will cut to a more pertinent part where I'm not harvesting the Earth's natural resources. I swear I'm not a hippie, I'm just beating this joke till it... Yeah, I couldn't really finish the environmental pun. I'll see you guys in a little bit. So Todd basically had nothing interesting to say, other than the fact that he had gotten thrice as many fossils as I had, which, you know, whatever. I guess if Todd is really concerned about eco-terrorism, he's not really going to be concerned about, you know, saving fossils wherever that's possible. Anywho, I think this is as good a place as any to end off for this episode because there's a lot of fossil cleaning to do. So that's pretty much it. If you liked this video, maybe consider liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, yada yada yada. There's probably one more thing I missed in there. If you didn't like the video, that's cool too. Let me know feedback in the comments section. And if you didn't like the video because you didn't like me bashing my boy Cloud Strife because I don't know Final Fantasy VII, that is completely legitimate because I don't know Final Fantasy VII. I did play through Wall Market though, so I'm pretty happy. Alright, that sounds good. Peace.